but it hasn't quite gotten to the point where it's proficient enough for medical or legal interpreting. It's being used, Google Translate, they're using it for a lot of general stuff, and that's fine. But when it comes to medical and legal interpreting, it really has not gotten to the level where it's proficient yet. It's probably going to get there in the future. I believe, though, that if there's going to be an AI that does interpreting, it has to come from the industry, because whenever an AI starts, the foundation is critical, right? The initial learning is critical, and we need to develop an AI that understands the different nuances of culture. It's not just one size fit all for the language. It depends on the culture and the different dialects, etc. And so it's important that the AI that ends up becoming the leader in the space comes from a language industry. Yeah,
100%, it cannot be imposed from the outside.
correct.
Now, there is a company which I'll be happy to introduce you to. It's from the industry. I did a couple of podcasts with them. I demonstrated their technology, and it's commercial now. What they're doing is they are using AI, and the old theory that says, you can have parts of the conversation that are easy parts that are more complex parts of the conversation.
Correct.
So,
Right.
so the idea there is to inject the human on the complex part, and to leave the easy part to be handled by
The AI.
AI. Now the question is, how do you transition between the two, and this is where the technology comes in. So yeah, after the call, I'll if you're interested,
Yeah, for
facilitate an
sure.
introduction just to say hello to the folks, and
My competition.
yeah, start a conversation. May not work. I have no idea.
Got it.
But they what I've seen, it seems to work, and they're not the only one. Like, there are a few others out there that they're practicing this. So let's say a patient calls in, or a nurse calls a patient to check on them at home, etc. So the parts of the conversation can be handled through AI, because she's doing like the usual casual stuff. Hi, how are you?
Correct.
How was your day?
The history and things like that.
And once they get into like the more complex questions, that's when the nurse who's on standby will take on the call.
Interesting. Okay, I like that model.
Yeah, so I'll do that. And now the on the medical interpretation, what do you look for in your team when you're hiring somebody? What is it that you're looking for in terms of
That they are
skills,
true.
in terms of their role that they would play in your team, etc.?
Well, first and foremost, that they're trained, because being bilingual is just the basic qualification, the bare necessity. But you have to be trained. And here's the other thing: in the industry, 40 hours is sufficient right now. Is the bare minimum to go on to your certification. And we at UTL believed that was not sufficient. So that's why we did 60 hours for those 6-hour training for those who were already in the medical field, and 160-hour training for those that were not. So training is critical. So you're not just learning medical terminology, you're learning confidentiality in healthcare law. You're learning, the importance of protocol, in interpreting. And there's just a host of other very critical, important things that you can only learn through a training process.
Absolutely.